So there's a proverb that goes, the stone the builders reject has now become the cornerstone. And that is Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, that proverb describes him so well. And actually, let me even get this right. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. That proverb from the book of Psalms, 118:22, that perfectly describes Karl Anthony Towns and his situation with the New York Knicks. Because for the longest, the narrative has been running that Karl Anthony Towns, he's soft, puts up stats, but isn't a winner, puts up numbers, empty calories. He's not a team leader. But from what we're seeing these playoffs, particularly in the NBA Finals, Karl Anthony Towns is exposing all the narratives to be wrong about him. He's exposing all of it to be wrong. Because what he's doing right now, I'm just going to go out and say it. He's the modern day Dirk Nowitzki. Yes, Karl Anthony Towns is the modern day Dirk Nowitzki. And why I say that is this. He's averaging throughout these playoffs 50, 40, 90. He's a stretch big, just like Dirk Nowitzki. Had the same narrative that everybody was saying about Dirk, that he's soft. Karl Anthony Towns is facing him. And for over 10 seasons, he's been putting up 20 and 10. Productive numbers, still producing, but yet this soft narrative has overshadowed and having people undermine or underrate the greatness these players were. Same thing with Dirk Nowitzki. Let's pull it up. Like let's just take a look at this, because enough is enough. People for the longest have had these terrible takes on these players for the longest. And it's time for all that to change. It's time for people to see the real. Karl Anthony Towns, throughout the years, he's been in the NBA. Let's pull up the numbers. 23, 11, and 3. He's been a double-double almost every season, each and every season, except for about three. 3 seasons. But even then, the past 2 years he's been in New York, 20 and 10. 20 and 10 type of player. Last season gave you 24 and 13 rebounds, 3 assists. This season, 20 and 12. We cannot continuously bash Karl Anthony Towns based upon what Jimmy Butler had to say about him. Where's Jimmy Butler now? Where is he now? He's sitting at home watching Towns lead. Yes, Karl Anthony Towns is the one leading the New York Knicks to another NBA title. One that they haven't seen in over 50 years or so. We have him in the playoffs so far at 17 and 11 with 6 assists a game. Just under 6 assists a game. He is that guy. And with shooting splits of 57% field goal shooting, 48% from 3, then 90% from the free throw line. Come on, this is Dirk's numbers. Age 30, he's turning 31 this year. Look at what Dirk was putting up at the same age in the playoffs, around 30, right before he won that title in 2011. Look at what he was doing in 2009. Same type of numbers. Oh, the scoring is a lot higher. Not going to take that away. But around the age of 31, look what he was putting up there. We had him at 57% from 3, 54% field goal percentage shooting, 95% from the free throw line. This is the modern day Dirk Nowitzki. It's Karl Anthony Towns. Same nasty narrative that was around Dirk until he had to silence that by winning the title. And that is what Karl Anthony Towns is going to do. He's going to silence these bad takes once he leads them to the title, once he leads New York to NBA title. And I'm on record of saying that I have the Spurs winning it. No doubt about that. I'm not changing that. Still sticking with the Spurs because that's who I came out and I said initially. But I'm not going to sit here and front or act like New York doesn't have a solid chance, because they do. They're 2 games away from it. And if you look at if Finals MVP were to start today, it should be Karl Anthony Towns. Because look what Jalen Brunson is giving you right now. He's being harassed, hounded. It is by the saving grace and the mental lapse that Wemby and Stephon Castle had. This series is now tied 1-1. Because then now it's showing that, maybe little guards can't win you a title. Because look what Jalen Brunson is facing. He's shooting an abysmal 34% field goal percentage, 24% from three. He's getting to the free throw line about 5 times a game. That's pretty good. I'm not going to front on him on that. He's converting. But he is, I mean, when I said it online that he had to tap into his inner Allen Iverson, I didn't think he was going to do it like this. Those defenders are harassing Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle. You know, he's facing size, possession after possession, different players each time. It's showing. But Karl Anthony Towns, he's that consistency. Look at him. 56% from the floor, 43% from three. He hasn't missed a free throw yet this series. 100%. Giving you about 20 points a game, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. 20 and 10. This is Karl Anthony Towns. He is the modern day Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, the sooner people realize this, the better. The sooner they realize it, the better. Because we cannot continuously play on this man's name, all because of Jimmy Butler. No, that has to stop. We cannot continuously play on Karl Anthony Towns' name, all because of Jimmy Butler. Not going to do it. And if and when they win a title, the narrative is going to change so much on Karl Anthony Towns. I think people are going to start looking at him that he really is the franchise leader of the New York Knicks because of the fact that his level of consistency has never dipped off. He's going to show in night out. Same thing with Dirk Nowitzki. Same thing. And it's just been history throughout the NBA where a lot of these stretch bigs, these are players that, you know, have the post skills. They can play in the post, but they have very excellent face-up games, very skilled shooters, snipers at that from the mid-range and outside. They have always got a bad rap. I brought up Dirk. Chris Bosh, the same thing when he was in Miami. Bad rap. And maybe Karl Anthony Towns is in between the Dirk and Chris Bosh because let's be honest. If Miami didn't have Chris Bosh, they don't go back-to-back the way they did. 2012 and 2013. Chris Bosh changed a lot. And I'm not even going to get started, you know, and how he outplayed LeBron in 2011. Chris Bosh and what he was giving. So maybe Karl Anthony Towns is between that, a Chris Bosh and a Dirk Nowitzki. But as of right now, from what I'm seeing, he's a modern day Dirk Nowitzki. Yes, Karl Anthony Towns. And these finals are showing it. Victor Wembanyama can't do anything with him. I mean, rebounding wise. And Victor is he's having a phenomenal series. We're not, let's take a step back. Yes, they're down 2-0. Game 2 should have been the victory for them to tie the series up at 1-1. But we cannot turn away from the fact that look at what Victor Wembanyama is giving you. He's giving you 28 points per game, 40% from the free throw. His shooting from three has been abysmal. He needs to really stop at 27%. But he's giving you 28 and 11. 20 and 11 from Victor Wembanyama. He's been consistent. It's left for the rest of his teammates to step up and help him out if they want to come out and win this title. His teammates need to come out there. And they're just not doing it. So shouts out to Wemby. I'm sure if he comes with that same level of aggression, they'd be able to snag one at minimum. But being down 2-0 with the way Karl Anthony Towns is playing, woof, that hurts. That is going to be tough to overcome with the modern day Dirk Nowitzki, which is Towns, because he's not going to let up. I'm telling you that. We're not going to have the big purr, all that, the bodega baddie nicknames that everybody's giving Karl Anthony Towns, all that is going to come to an end. The media has judged him wrong. Fans have judged him wrong. He is the modern day Dirk Nowitzki. When you go 10 seasons of giving you 20 and 10 or around that, how could you underappreciate that? And I think not many people took the time to look at this because they've just got caught up on what the media had to say on ESPN about him. You know, what Joel Embiid and his little fight, what they had to say about him and other NBA players. Because Jimmy Butler, believe it or not, is a very respected NBA player. We're not going to take anything away from him on that. He led Miami to 2 NBA finals. Miami team that didn't have no business being there. But his judgment of Karl Anthony Towns, I think, is way off. And it's caused a lot of people to think about him incorrectly. And it's possibly cost him money. Yes, it's possibly cost him money. And And if I'm Towns, yeah, that would honestly piss me off. But winning an NBA title, winning cures all. That's gonna change things. Winning cures all, and him winning this NBA title, if they get the job done, I gotta preface that if they get the job done, that's gonna change a lot of things for him. Because when you look at it now, when it comes down to contract negotiation, I gotta bring this up. When it comes down to contract negotiations, he has a player option coming up after the end of next season. All right. New York has to look to start renegotiating him. Not only is he the highest paid player, but I'm guarantee you, like if he delivers on an NBA title this season, you have to start looking at the age of 31 that he's at. His style of play. I said he's in modern day Dirk. Dirk played till 40. I'm gonna be fair on this. He has another good 7 seasons of playing, meaning he has another 5-year contract under his belt. And if he delivers a title, there's no way you don't give him another $200 million contract. Yes. There's no way you don't give Towns in today's NBA, the way the centers are playing. Not many are better than him. Not many are delivering the way that he's delivering. There's no way you don't give Towns 5 years, $200 million. You'd be crazy not to. Minnesota, look at what they've done by giving up Karl Anthony Towns. Their title hopes now are extinguished. It's extinguished. They were better off keeping him instead of getting Julius Randle, because now the problems that they're facing is they're missing out on that size. They're missing out on that rebound. Somebody who could play in space to help an Anthony Edwards. That was everything Karl Anthony Towns got. He was a perfect complement. The perfect type of star player that will perfectly complement any other star that you have and deliver the goods. That was Towns. And you gave him up for Julius Randle. So now that you see it, that you've made it from a conference finals to the conference finals and now to the finals and potentially winning it, if I'm Karl Towns' agent, I mean, nothing less than $200 million easy for 5 years. And you run out the rest of your career in New York, you'll be the king of New York. You will be the king of New York because you are the cornerstone of that franchise. You change that trajectory. Not Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's a great player, no doubt about it. But are you telling me we couldn't find another hybrid guard to pair with Karl Anthony Towns and have New York in the situation that they're in? Most definitely you could have. You most definitely could have done that. So 5 years, $200 million, that's coming towards Karl Anthony Towns if he gets the job done and wins the NBA title. And this is well played. Well played. Because he's for sure going to opt out of this. No way in a team like the New York Knicks, in a city like that, you delivered a title that they haven't seen in 50 plus years. Then with the league's salary structure is going to go up because of the TV deals and everything. I'm sure the Knicks organization is going to go up in valuation. What am I even talking about? $200 million. What am I even talking about? Knowing how the Knicks are, they may even pay him $300 million. 5 years, $300 million to Karl Anthony Towns. That is not impossible. That is not impossible to pay Karl Anthony Towns at 31 years old, peak of his performance. So you're looking at, on average, that $60 million each year for 5 years. Not the $200 million. No, he's given a discount if he's giving him that $200 million. So at the end of this, he wins the title. Karl Anthony Towns. Another 5 years, $300 million coming his way. He's the king of New York. The modern day Dirk Nowitzki. James Dolan, all of them, they need to settle him off right. He's going to be running everything from Washington Heights up to upstate New York. You name it, that will be Karl Anthony Towns. He will be running that state, the state of New York. He delivers that title. But Wemby could change all that. But back to how we just misjudged him for so many years. And it's unfair. Highly unfair that people have done this to Karl Anthony Towns. Because even just last season, let's look up Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh, another phenomenal player. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to Chris Bosh. You cannot forget about him. Again, yes, Chris Bosh didn't even rebound at the rate that Karl Anthony Towns did. Not even close to rebounding at that same rate. Not even close. You look at it, Chris Bosh has only had a couple of seasons where he was a double-double. Sorry, not a couple, 3 seasons. He was a double-double. Those 3 seasons right there, we're talking about 06, 07, 08, 09, 09, 2010, all in Toronto. Changed up when he got to Miami. But come playoff time, those two title runs in the finals, he was very pivotal. Very pivotal. When you look at his shooting splits again in 2012, 49% from the floor, 53% from 3. Didn't really take much a game. You got to look at the attempts. Less than 1, but still. In the free throws, when he got to the free throw line, he knocked him down. I mean, I still couldn't compare him to Chris Bosh. No, Towns is better. But Chris Bosh, shouts out to him. Good numbers, great, impactful. Defensively, he was very impactful defensively. We're not going to take that away from him, but Towns is better. What other stretch bigs come to mind? We're not going to... Kevin Love. LeBron's the other guys. LeBron in these stretch bigs with Kevin Love. Kevin Love, again, he was another monster. These stretch bigs, they get underrated. Remember Kevin Love when he was in Minnesota? He was recognized as a top 5 player in the league. These years here in Minnesota, starting from 2011, most improved winner, all-star, all these years, even going to Cleveland, we cannot forget about these years of Kevin Love in Minnesota. 25 and 12 type of player. Shooting from the outside phenomenally. Dead-eye shooter. Had a season shooting 42% from 3. 40, come on. But still, Karl Anthony Towns is better than him. From the athletic aspect of it, the ball handling skills, the passing skills, which is on display. And let's talk about that. Everybody's underrating the passing skills, the elite passing skills that we have been seeing from Karl Anthony Towns. We are definitely been underrating his elite passing skills because he has helped take Jalen Brunson off the ball. Jalen Brunson is now off the ball as much, putting Towns there in a position to help other players, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, having them, be able to knock down open shots once Towns finds them. So we're looking again at one of the greatest stretch bigs of all time. Karl Anthony Towns. Not because the most decorated stretch big of all time, is Dirk Nowitzki. No doubt about that. But Karl Towns, he's nipping at his heels. And when it's all said and done, if he gets this title, we definitely have to reevaluate how we rank the all-time greatest list, particularly at that power forward or stretch big position. I got to say Karl Anthony Towns steps into the top 3 in that. Dirk is at number 1 at stretch bigs. But I definitely got to say, Karl Anthony Towns, he's right there at 2. You got to put him there. And he's exposing all these bad takes because of it. Because of this winning. As they say, winning cures all. And it's showing. There's been so many bad takes given in this NBA Finals, from Becky Hammond saying a small guard can't lead you to an NBA Finals. Jalen Brunson is debunking that. Now you got Karl Anthony Towns debunking the fact that he is not soft. He can lead a team to the promised land because look at what he's doing with New York. He is right now statistically their best player in the finals. So the New York Knicks, they really have been debunking and exposing a lot of bad takes. This team is fun. And it hurts me that I did not even see this. I put all my chips in to go for San Antonio, and I'm still going to ride with it. But the Knicks, man, hey, go New York, go New York, go. As they say. They're doing it. They are exposing a lot of bad takes, this Knicks team. And I love to see it. I love to see it because a lot of times the narratives, which play a huge part in sports, pigeonhole a lot of players, have hurt a lot of players, not just in the NBA, but those trying to come into the league or in other levels. Narratives have hurt a lot of people in sports. And I'm glad that the Knicks are destroying all that. That you cannot just cubbyhole or put shackles or binding a player into one way. No. You have to understand these things. You have to understand where this player is coming from. That it may not just be, what that player is. It could just be the circumstances. I think people are putting a lot of narratives on players based upon and not looking at the circumstance that the player is in. And that all needs to change. And shouts out to Karl Towns for changing that. Jalen Brunson just changed that, the narrative, broke the narrative that small guards can't lead you to the finals in the last series. But right now, Karl Towns is changing the narratives that, hey, I guess a soft player, quote unquote soft player, can get it done. Can get you a ring. So it's on Karl Towns' court. Shouts out to this Knicks team, man. Even Mike Brown breaking the narrative that, oh, he's a coach that can't make adjustments. Oh, he sure did make adjustments. Look at what he's doing with Karl Towns being somewhat now also not just a stretch big, but a point center. That was an adjustment by Mike Brown. So the Knicks, they're breaking and destroying all narratives out there. New York Knicks, shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to the New York Knicks for doing this kind of stuff, because absolutely nobody had that on their bingo card that the Knicks were going to be in the finals and be doing what they're doing. Absolutely nobody. So shouts out to them. So, Karl Towns, I think regardless was going to make it into the Hall of Fame. But now I think he's surefire first ballot if they get the title. First ballot Hall of Famer if they get to the NBA final, if the New York Knicks win the NBA title. And his career is going to be definitely looked at as one of the most underrated careers of NBA history. Definitely will be. You have to say that, because again, I harpen back, a player giving you these type of numbers, 20 and 10 for about 10 plus seasons, not letting up the way he has, you have to say, like, what were people thinking? People were highly underrating him. So, super talented but flawed star? Nah, I don't know. I just want to say that he's just a very underappreciated player. Very, very underappreciated player. And I think a lot of times people get so caught up in the rah-rah. I want a player who's going to be, all, grit, grind, tough, want to come in there. But those type of attitudes don't always win. Again, I say, where is Jimmy Butler right now? He's at home watching Towns. He's at home watching Towns, if he is watching any NBA Finals. And Karl Towns may get a ring that Jimmy Butler never got. Doesn't mean Jimmy Butler is any less of a player. Again, as I mentioned earlier, he led Miami to 2 NBA Finals. 2 NBA Finals they had no business in. Jimmy Butler did that. So, shouts out to him for that, Shouts out to him for that. And the Knicks, again, breaking all narratives, destroying them. Every narrative that you had about basketball, whether it be about small guards, coaching, stretch bigs like Karl Towns, have all been shattered thanks to the New York Knicks. And they're 2 games away from putting a stamp on it and solidifying that, because the NBA, it is a copycat league. And now, because of the fact that the Knicks are changing the narratives from the small guards, you got guards like Darius Acuff now probably solidified his chances of being a top 5 pick thanks to Jalen Brunson. Stretch bigs now, like Karl Towns, will be the most coveted type of big man out there, because Karl Towns now has earned himself maybe another 5 years, $300 million because of his performance of what he did. Not just in the playoffs, but in these finals. He just earned himself that. Mike Brown, who has been chastised for his lack of adjustments, has now shattered that narrative that he can, in fact, make adjustments just by putting this team here. This is we have to give credit to this New York Knicks team. We just have to, for what they've done, because they're not only helping themselves in their careers, but they're helping others who are trying to break into the NBA. And this is a great look, very great look, for basketball as a whole. And with this said, they may have just gained another fan. The New York Knicks may have just gained another fan after what they've done in this postseason, and they're nipping at the heels of the LA Lakers, the 01 Lakers. Now, are they a better team than the 01 Lakers? Absolutely not. Not by a long stretch. I don't think so. But hey, with this undefeated streak that they've been showing, I mean, people are going to bring that up in the debates. People are most definitely going to bring that up in the debates that, hey, they are in fact just as good or can be compared to the 2001 Lakers. And I think that would be crazy to do so, but it's very possible at this point. Very, very possible. Yeah. So, I mean, again, now another way too the New York Knicks are shattering things, especially from Karl Anthony Towns' perspective, is this idea that we judge players or athletes based upon their team results. We get it, it's a team game. But no, I think that ends right after this. And we have to start looking at individual impact more so than team success. Because to win a title, it's not easy. A lot of things have to be in line, from the coaching staff, the front office, other players. People have to be healthy. So to make that the final judgment on a player and all their success and everything that they put in, year out, that's unfair. And I'm somebody that really likes to, put in the rings when it comes into the ring debate. But now I kind of look at things a lot different, especially with what Karl Anthony Towns is providing, because when he left the Minnesota Timberwolves, that team was never the same, quite honestly. Never the same. I think they were a much better team when they had Towns there to help out Rudy Gobert. Not only did he help out Rudy, he helped out Anthony Edwards in a sense that you could still keep another 7-footer on the floor and keep the lane open for him to do what he does. And if he needed to kick out, he got a dead-eye shooter, a knockdown shooter, and Karl Anthony Towns to do so, who is a very good three-point shooter. Hence the three-point championship that he won, three-point contest winner. And the statistics, a player that's shooting over 40%, and he's a 7-footer. And people forget about his elite athleticism. I remember seeing him at Kentucky, being able to dunk between the legs. And once I seen that, I was like, hey, man, he's a number one pick. Highly talented. I think at 17, he was playing for the Dominican national team, trying to qualify for the Olympics. So he's always been that guy. But we've underappreciated him because of the fact that coming in at number one, people expect him, hey, you're supposed to be this raw, dominant guy from day one. But that wasn't him. All right, we can't put these labels on players and think because, they didn't fit this certain label or what we think a number one player should be, that means he's a bust or he's no good. No, that was never the case. He was always good. He was always the most impactful player on his team, because when you've shifted him off of Minnesota, that team is not nowhere near being the same. You put him in New York and look at how drastically different New York has become. So again, we got to start looking and put more emphasis on individual impact of a player as opposed to team results. Karl Anthony Towns has changed that. He has exposed that bad narrative. And in fact, the whole Knicks team, they're exposing them all. Exposing everything. I love that about them. When you look at somebody like an OG Anunoby too, another player exposing bad narratives, because, with OG, I thought he was kind of crazy when he was asking for what he was asking financially to come on to the New York Knicks. But you look at the impact of what he's giving, defensively, you have to say, hey, someone with his playing style is definitely key into winning an NBA title. We can't think that all forwards, all small forwards or so forth, got to have a handle, got to be able to be, the number one scorer on your team. No, you don't. You could affect the game defensively from that as long as you're hitting, as long as, when called upon to knock down shots, you can do that. 3-and-Ds are still very highly valuable. highly valuable. And OG Anunoby is proving that yet again. You know, he's changing that. A lot of people have gotten off that 3-and-D wave, but OG Anunoby is resurging that. He's bringing that back. So this next team, from top to bottom, from Mike Brown, Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, heck, I mean, even down to your 12th man, ownership, they're all breaking all the narratives. They're changing all the norms. And that's what you got to love about this team. You really got to love that about the Knicks. And it hurts me because, again, I did not select them to win an NBA title. I don't think anybody had them other than you're some deranged New York Knicks fan. They're the only people that did. They are the only ones that did. But now the whole world is watching. All eyes are on New York. And they're about 2 games away from an NBA title. So shouts out to them. Shouts out to the New York Knicks for that. Incredible. Incredible that, I mean, one could say crazy times that we're in. These are crazy times that we're in, you know. My goodness. Me. And there's going to be a lot of revisionist history being done on a lot of these Knicks players after this. A lot of tweets are going to be deleted. A lot of things are going to be changed, all because of what they are doing and shattering the norms. The Knicks are shattering the norms. And Karl Anthony Towns is, spearheading that, So all those bad takes, all those bad narratives, all those bad tweets that people are, it's been exposed and they're going to be done with. Thanks to Karl Anthony Towns and the New York Knicks. But we got 2 more games to go. We'll see how things go. But right now, New York is in the driver's seat, and if they get this done, the NBA is going to change in a lot of ways, a lot more ways than one.